In Chicago, you know that all sports rock. The Bears, Hawks, Bulls, Cubs, and Sox. Pick your favorite, you can choose. As long as the Packers lose. For everything you need to know, it's Bill Swerski Sports Talk Chicago. Bill Swerski Sports Talk Chicago.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Bill Swerski Sports Talk Chicago. This is your hosts, Alex and Sean. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the Blackhawks at the break, the Bulls at the break, a little Bears, a little baseball. But first, I'd like to thank our sponsor, the Rockford Ice Hogs. If you're not familiar with the Rockford Ice Hogs, they're the AHL minor league affiliate of the Chicago Blackhawks. What does that mean for you? You get to see the stars of tomorrow today at family-friendly, affordable prices. Season is going on right now, so make sure you head on over to icehogs.com, get yourself a hat, shirt, jersey, tickets, and more. Tell them Swerski Sports sent you. Alex, my friend, how are you doing on this beautiful February day?
It's awesome outside. It is awesome. Just think, a few weeks ago, we were having negative 10, 15, 20 wind chills, and we were wondering if the Bears-Rams game was going to be the coldest game in Soldier Field history. And now I'm going out with a t-shirt, and it feels really, really great. And you know what? I'm going to say this is as good a weekend as I've had on a weekend where there is no active football and there is no active baseball. The teams are reporting to camp, but come this Friday, we're going to have spring training games. And then next thing you know, the combine's going to be happening. We're going to be getting to free agency soon. So spent this weekend doing a lot of other things, obviously. Watched some hockey, went to a hockey game with a friend, played some golf with some friends, Top Golf, spent some time out on my day off today. So I can enjoy this as much as I can on a very sad weekend where there is no football or baseball. But hey, at least we got blessed with good weather.
On a sad weekend because Robert Duvall died.
Yeah, one of the true greats.
I mean, just everything that man touched, he was gold.
Yeah,
Just
from everything from Godfather to Kicking and Screaming with Mike Ditka.
he was in a movie with Mike Ditka.
Yes, he was.
Uh, yeah, it was funny because my friend texted me early this morning. It was like, Robert Duvall died. And I was like, oh man, that sucks. And I was like, wait a minute. That dude had to be pushing 100. And I was like, was he? I'm like, that guy was like, had to be like 95, 96. And he's like, 95. And I was
95,
like,
yep.
yeah, I was like, woof, he was old.
Yeah, he was. I mean, life well lived, obviously. I mean, he made countless movies. And even if you look at like some of his top grossing movies, like we mentioned The Godfather, and, there's plenty of others, but I mean, he was in some other movies where you're like, wow, kind of an underrated performance. Like he was in, have you ever seen the movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas?
I've seen that. I saw that many times.
Oh, such a good movie. I think it's one of the most underrated movies out there. Like Michael Douglas was great in that role. Robert Duvall was great in the role as the detective. That is one of my favorite Robert Duvall roles. I also liked him in Deep Impact, saving the world from a meteor. It's like, hey man, what can't Robert Duvall do?
Yeah, he's fantastic. Rest in peace to him. We also lost Dawson from Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that was crappy. Cancer. Um, and then we also lost. Uh, have you ever seen the show Sanford and Son?
Oh yeah. I've seen it. Obviously, I know we lost him, and that was sad too.
Demond Wilson, yeah, rest in peace. And we lost one very old, one very young, and one in the middle with Demond Wilson was 79 when he passed.
Hmm.
Uh, I grew up with those 1970 shows as reruns. 'Cause we didn't have cable, and that's what was the reruns were on. I got Brady Bunch, All in the Family, Welcome Back, Kotter, uh, Sanford and Son. Like those were the shows I watched growing up, and I loved Sanford and Son. And I remember uh, I bought the first season on DVD, and I was like, oh man, I love this show. I'm gonna buy the rest. And then it was cheaper to buy all of them as like one set rather than buy them individually. So I bought the whole set. So I had two copies of the first season of Sanford and Son on DVD. And when COVID first hit, and I have a friend who lives alone and was like, he's a minimalist. And I was like, I know he loves that. So I dropped off tacos and the first season of Sanford and Son on DVD at his front porch for him when COVID first hit. So, uh, yeah. So, but Lamont, you big dummy.
I just like
Rest in
using the
peace.
heart attack gif from Sanford and Sons.
I do. I use that one on a regular basis, and the how am I supposed to do that with my arthritis? I use that one all the time on my wife. She'll be like, "Can you do this?" I'm like, "How am I supposed to do that with my arthritis?"
I'm sure she loves it every time too.
Oh, every time I just get a look.
It's like she knows it's coming, but it's still like, oh my God, you just don't stop.
I in my house, like my kid and I, we are the worst. We will reuse the same things over and over because it's hilarious. So there's another one we do all the time. It's anytime somebody can't find something and you say, "Hey, have you seen my phone? Have you seen my keys?" 100% of the time, one of us will yell, "Oh, I saw it. It's up your butt." And every time my wife gets so mad and the kid and I laugh and
Yeah,
laugh.
I can imagine.
I mean, do I do I falter for being mad? Absolutely not. But is it still funny to say?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
at least you acknowledge the effect of it, but you still do it for your own entertainment.
And sometimes we don't even have to say it. We just start laughing. She'll be like, "Have you seen my keys?" And we'll just be like, both be like, and she's like, "Shut up. Don't say it."
I
Uh, all right. Where should we start today?
don't know. Spin the wheel. It's kind of slow on the Chicago sports front outside of baseball. I mean, you mentioned the Blackhawks and Bulls are on break. We got the Olympics, and I don't know about you, but I don't feel very confident that Team USA is going to beat Team Canada. That Team Canada team is stacked.
Yeah, Team Canada is real good. I mean, they're real good all the time,
Yes,
but
but
they're
like I
real
mean,
good.
I think the last time they were this good, when I think of good Canada teams in my lifetime, I think of that 2010 team. You remember them?
Mm-hmm.
But the USA brought them to the brink. Remember, that was Crosby in overtime. That
Yep.
was probably because I wasn't alive for the Miracle on Ice. But when I think of like great historic Olympic hockey, I always think of 2010.
Uh, I'm looking at the schedule here. Hockey. Um, oh my goodness, why does ESPN make it so hard? Um,
Because they want to make everything hard now. Let's
they
be real.
do. They really do. Uh,
'Cause I believe it's mid this week. USA plays.
yeah, that's what I was trying to see. Um,
I want to say it's Wednesday. That's what I thought I read, but I could have misread it.
let's see. Um, I believe it is. Oh, why? Why are they smoting me?
Yeah,
Being,
well,
I'm being smote. Um,
I think it'd be easier to find, right? But I mean, either way, it's.
all right, Wednesday, USA plays the winner of Sweden and Latvia.
Yeah, there you go.
Canada plays the winner of Czechia and Denmark.
Well, I'll tell you what. The United States, they've obviously been winning, but we saw in their last game they got off to kind of a slow start, and it's like, well, you're not going to be able to do that against Team Canada, that's for sure.
No, no, you better get off to a hot start because um, because that Canada team is real good from top to bottom.
Yes, it is. And you got a lot of young talent and you got a lot of experienced talent. I mean, it's funny. You see all these young kids, and then there's Sidney Crosby, who's been in the league longer than some of those guys have been alive.
Oh yeah, I mean he's been in the league for a long time, and you got some real young players, and you're seeing Macklin Celebrini doing well on the world stage.
Yeah, he's not missing a beat. That's for sure.
You know, I know some people are, what? Why is he better than Connor Bedard? I'm like, number one, what? Why are you comparing them? Like, there's no compare. It's two players that were drafted in 2 different years. Like, it's not like somebody passed up the other one to get
Right.
one. Um, but two is Connor Bedard would look awesome on this team too.
Yes, he would. And he's not on it because he was what, a month and a half he was hurt?
Yeah, yeah, he was hurt.
Because he was
So
on pace. They were battling for top in points. Like they were head to head. It was like Sosa McGuire. And then Connor Bedard went down with the injury.
uh, but it is what it is, and you and all that matters for us is what happens in the NHL.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, as much as I love Olympic hockey, Connor Bedard, after having that big injury, not overextending himself and getting some rest and maybe some ramp up, that's fine. I'm not going to be too upset about it.
No, I'm not upset either. It's it's fine. Um, but if you want to talk about dominant hockey, the women's US team,
Oh yeah, they're steamrolling everybody.
I mean, they went and just crushed Canada.
Uh-huh.
Like I watched that first game that they were in. Was it Sweden? Um, and no, wait, I forgot who they played. No, Italy. The first one, and I was like, oh man, they kicked a lot of ass. And then every game they've kicked ass.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Finland 5-0. They beat Italy 6-0. Um, they beat Canada 5-0. They beat Switzerland 5-0.
Yeah, I was
They
watching
beat
a bit of the
Finland 5-0.
saw a bit of that game in the gym this morning.
Yeah. Czechia is the only team that scored on them.
They're kind of 85 Bearsing the Olympics.
They really are. Uh, oh my God, that would be so disgustingly sad if they don't win this gold medal.
I think I mean, the way they're playing, it's theirs to lose.
I mean, they're in the gold medal game.
Yeah, I think they're gonna win. I've all the confidence in USA Women's taking home that gold.
Yeah, so it's against Canada again, though, right?
Yeah, I mean they're gonna have a chip on their shoulder. So not saying it's gonna be easy, but I do believe in this team.
I mean, you kick that team's ass up and down, so cool. Beat them again. Shut them out. That would be hilarious if like Czechia, one of the worst teams in the Olympic hockey, was the only team that scored on you.
Raise their banner, scored on Team USA.
The only ones to score on Team USA. That they go home with that banner. Uh, my wife and I were so confused. Like we were watching the Olympics and they kept calling it Czechia. We're like, what? Why are they calling the Czech Republic Czechia? We're like both in Google investigation mode. Apparently, they just asked to be called Czechia. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Czechia kind of is an easier ring when coming to calling them a name like, oh, Team Czech Republic. Yeah, I guess there's just a bit more of a ring to that. So,
Let's see. What else do we have with the Blackhawks? Because of the Olympic break, we have no idea what the status of Wyatt Kaiser's injury is. Um, and I saw somebody online asking about, why the Blackhawks don't bring up Drew Commesso to back up Spencer Knight. And I think that one seems a little obvious is you want him playing every day.
Hmm.
Like get like he's not gonna play every day. Like he's probably gonna play what 13 games if he comes up.
Right. Yeah.
Like
And it's funny with Arvid Soderblom because he's not like good overall, but every now and then he'll have this insanely good game.
I mean that's what his whole thing is. I mean he's not a bad hockey player. It's just he's not a good hockey. He's not a great hockey player. And he's got the capability to be solid, at times, but he's just really inconsistent and has mental lapses. Um,
If you put it together, the good and the bad, it's a whole lot of meh.
yeah, he's like a like at best, he's like an average goalie, but he doesn't play his best all the time.
No.
So what you get is a shitty goalie, shitty NHL goalie.
He's like he's the equivalent of a 4A player in baseball. Maybe a little better than that, but
I would say he's
kind
a
of like
little better
that.
than that, but
Yeah,
not incredibly better than that.
right.
Um,
Like a step above it.
but what I'm excited about is we've got two young players that are playing overseas right now that are kicking a lot of ass overseas in Anton Frondel and Roman Kantsarov.
Yeah, Frondell is definitely one of those prospects where you're like, okay, that's one of those guys you want to circle and keep track of every night he plays.
I mean, Kantsarov, he's over a point a game in the KHL. Like he's not a joke.
No, no,
Like
he's no.
and you know, like we're looking at this young team where you've got the players that are already there. You got Frondel, Kantsarov, Nick Lardis coming. You've got so many young players uh, that honestly, I think there's going to be a time period where if the Blackhawks can't sign Bedard to an extension, they're just going to have to, they're going to have to trade for like retired players' contracts just to make the floor because they don't have room for these young players and overpriced veterans. And, and like, that's what they're going to have to do to be able to hit that floor.
Well, they did take on Shea Weber. What was it? Was it this year or was it last year when they took on Shea Weber's
Last
contract?
year.
Last year, yeah.
So, I mean, you know, maybe, uh, maybe they bring back Marian Hossa's contract.
Is that thing not paid off yet?
I don't know. We'll ceremonially bring back Marian Hossa's contract.
But I'm already back. Yeah, but we want to pay you again. But you're paying me to do other things. We'll pay you to play hockey, but I don't play hockey anymore.
I cannot wear the pants. The pants make me itchy.
You know, um, who was it? I'm just trying to think of who out there qualifies for that type of money. Like, who else has an insane deal that's like no longer playing?
Uh, I don't even know.
Because Shea Weber, by the time the Blackhawks got Shea Weber's deal, he had already been named to the Hall of Fame. Isn't that kind of funny?
That is funny.
Like,
Uh,
you just technically got a Hall of Famer, like a bona fide, already in, established Hall of Famer. Ain't gonna play for you. He hasn't played in a while, but you got him.
uh, is Dion Phaneuf still contract still out there?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a good one. That's like 7 million a year.
Yeah. And that's a guy I always kind of wanted, but it would be kind of ironic years wanting Dion Phaneuf, getting Dion Phaneuf, but not actually getting Dion Phaneuf.
What
I'm gonna
about
go out
Rick?
and get a Dion Phaneuf jersey.
Blackhawks legend Dion Phaneuf. What about DiPietro?
He's probably going to be getting paid until the second coming. Let's be real.
Uh,
Boy, did the Islanders mess that one up. Ooh.
um,
Sad story though. He had all that talent and just couldn't stay healthy.
Keith Yandel.
Is he making a lot of money?
Um,
Keith Yandel isn't. When was the
fi-
last time Keith Yandel played?
he was bought out in 2021. Uh,
More recent than I thought. I was thinking like 2019 or something, but okay.
Justin Abdelkader.
Oh, that guy. Oh, I remember him on the Red Wings. I remember him and the Blackhawks in the day. They would get into some scuffles.
Um,
Justin Abdelkader. Man, this is bringing me back like my prime hockey
Brad
fandom days.
Richards.
Like former Blackhawk Brad Richards?
Yes.
The guy that won the cup with us in 2015? That
Yeah.
Brad Richards?
Let's see. Brad Richards. His contract is there. Uh,
Did he really get that much money?
he was bought up by the Rangers and he was on a 9-year, $60 million contract.
Brad Richards? Really?
Yes. Yep. The Blackhawks, Brad Richards. 9-year, $60 million contract. That's a lot of contract.
It was that big?
Yes.
How did
The Rangers.
yeah, but well, I guess they signed him when he was 31, and then we got him in 2015, and he played one more year with Detroit. He last played in 2016.
What about Ilya Brizgalov?
Ah, my
That's a
favorite
contract we
goal,
can get.
my favorite goaltender.
Uh,
Everyone's favorite goaltender, even though he was not that good. He was like that perfectly decent but not that great player that stuck around for a while because he was like an all-star by any means.
man, are there any more of these big contracts? Because uh, we
Was
could go Oliver
what about
Ekman Larson.
I knew there was a coyote on there. I was wondering if it was Oliver Ekman Larson or it was like Whitney or something. Though Whitney's got an alcohol line now.
No.
Yeah. What about was it who on the Flyers? What's his face? Didn't
Oh,
he have a big
Vincent Lecavier.
No, that's not who I was thinking of. Maybe
He's
I'm
got a big
wrong.
contract
Oh,
too.
I was thinking of Claude Giroux. Did he have a big contract?
Let's see. Claude
Or am I
Giroux.
imagining that? I don't know why I thought of Claude Giroux.
What about the the defenseman that they had for a long time that cheap shot at everybody? Is he
Who
still
on the
got?
Flyers?
Yeah.
Defenseman who cheap shot on the Flyers.
Tall.
You're
What is
not
his
you're
name?
not talking about Chris Pronger,
Yeah.
who's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Is he still under contract? 'Cause then they signed him to one of those stupid like 15-year contracts.
They might have.
Um,
I don't
Claude
know.
Claude Giroux signed a 1-year, $2 million contract extension with the Ottawa Senators on June 29th, 2025.
Okay. Never mind then.
Chris
Or was I thinking of
Pronger
Mike
contract.
Richards, maybe? Not Brad Richards, but Mike Richards. Because remember, he was on the Flyers. You had Mike Richards, Claude Giroux. I'm just thinking of that 2010 team we played. Brad Richards, Claude Giroux, Chris Pronger, James Van Riemsdyk.
Pronger's contract expired in 2018,
Okay, so yeah.
and it was bought by the Coyotes.
They take on every bad deal or over the hill deal because it was
Well, because
not a
he wasn't
bad
even,
deal
he
for
wasn't,
Hossa.
well, he wasn't, yeah, he wasn't playing. So Pronger was just, um, but yeah, are there any more of those contracts that we can just take on so we can hit the floor
Give
before we
us
have to start
all
paying
the
these guys?
legendary names.
We have a bunch of Hall of Famers that are still paying for.
Oh yeah, we got Shea Weber. Okay. Brad Richards is not a Hall of Famer, but pretty good. Oh man, I could go down a rabbit hole of just hockey players from my youth. And it's like, here's Ovechkin and Crosby still playing, and Tays and Kane still playing.
What about PK Subban? Is his contract still?
Maybe? He hasn't played in a few years. Remember when his brother was a goaltender on the Blackhawks?
Yes.
Malcolm Subban?
Yeah, of course I remember PK Subban because he signed one of those stupid long contracts too.
Did he get hurt, PK Subban?
I think so. Yeah, he signed $8 million Oh yeah, it expired in 2022. He signed an 8-year contract.
Was it with New Jersey?
Um, he signed it with Montreal, but
Right.
they traded Weber and Subban, Predators and the Canadians, and then the Devils took it on before it expired.
Gotcha. Okay.
PK Subban. Yeah, those really long contracts are we need one of those somewhere. Give me, gimme, gimme. Yeah, so most of the Blackhawks are getting a nice rest because we only have one Olympic hockey player, and that's Teuvo Teravainen,
Mm-hmm.
and his team stinks.
Yeah, well. We talk about this now, but guess what's coming up is the WBC.
It's
And there's
true.
going to be a number of Cubs on that team.
There are. And all I root for is no
And it
injuries.
worries me.
Just no injuries,
I'm
please.
like,
No injuries.
please. So you what? You got Bregman, PCA, Seiya Suzuki, Matt Boyd, uh, who else? Tyone, Jameson Tyone. Was there anybody
Uh,
else?
Assad,
Assad, yep, playing
Maya,
for. Is
Miguel
Miguel
Amaya.
Mine the WBC?
He's playing for Panama.
Okay, all right.
Uh, Palencia,
Danny P, yep.
he's playing for Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that's it.
Jeez, that's like a third of your roster.
Yeah, and there's some players there that you're really counting on, so don't get hurt.
And you have players on a lot of teams that are probably going to go far, whether it's, say, with Japan, who could win the whole thing, or Team USA, where you have several of your starting pitchers and probably your two most important position players with PCA and Alex Bregman.
I'm very worried about Jameson Tyone and Canada going on the deep run.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's there's that. And then Boyd will be on Team USA, right? Matthew Boyd.
Yes. Yep.
Hmm. Is Shota pitching for Japan?
No. Say is the only Japanese player.
Okay. All right. And then on the Sox
But he's
side,
Korean,
Shota?
isn't he? Or is he Japanese? Oh,
No,
he's
he's
Japanese. You're
Japanese.
right. He's
Yeah.
Japanese. Um, what is Canada's roster? They have former Cub Owen Casey.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. He is Canadian. Is Joey
Uh,
Votto going to come out of retirement?
oh my God. Michael Soroka. Jamison Tyone, Rob Zistry. I can never pronounce the name.
Zastrisny. Rob Zastrisny.
Disney. He's going to be on Team Canada.
Sound drunk when you say his name.
Yeah. Sound like Harry Carey. What is John
Rob
John spelled backwards?
Rob Zastry. Nice fella.
Um, Justin Morneau. Oh no, he's going to be the hitting coach.
I was gonna
But
say,
I was
dude, he
about to say
hasn't
he's
played in
old
like
as
10
shit.
years.
I saw the name. I was like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, Russell Martin and Justin Morneau, they're just pulling anybody out of there, aren't they?
Well,
They're the coaches.
wasn't it Team Canada that brought Dempster out of retirement like several years later? You
I
remember
mean, because
that?
this this roster's terrible. Like, they're infielders. Tyler Black, Matt Davidson, Adam Hall, Edward Julian, Otto Lopez, Josh Naylor, Abraham Toro.
Did you just say Matt Davidson?
Matt Davidson.
Oh boy. Well, Tyone should be back pretty quickly.
Uh, yeah, this is their catchers are Liam Hicks and Bo Naylor. This is a
I mean, Josh
terrible.
Naylor's probably your best player on that team.
Yes. Um. So yeah, that team is no bueno.
Duty pants.
Um. Yeah, all right, we're talking baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is the Cubs are bringing back Shelby Miller.
Oh yeah. Though he'll be rehabbing this year and not pitching till next year. But yeah, Shelby Miller's back.
You know, there was a point in time where I genuinely wanted Shelby Miller on the Cubs.
Remember the rumor in 2015 that they traded Baez for Shelby Miller?
Yes.
And like Bob Nightingale and I think Gordon Wittenmeyer reported it. And it ended up being like 100% not true.
Yeah, but there was a point in time where Shelby Miller was going to be a huge get for the Cubs.
Oh yeah.
And I'm glad they didn't get him because that would not have been a huge get.
No, that would have been a disaster, an absolute disaster. But in the last few years, he did reinvent himself as a pretty good reliever.
Um, so let's see. Will the Cubs make any more moves this year?
So, I now write for the Cubs for ChiCitySports.com, and I was writing yesterday after the Zach Gallen news that he went back to Arizona. Will they get another arm? Here's the thing. The remaining starting pitchers on the market, your best option is Lucas Giolito. His market value is 20 million. I'm not giving him 20 million. That's for sure. But
No.
he's the best option there. I mean, you have a few options like Zach Littell, which okay, he was good for a five starter last year. If you want a guy who's fairly durable and can eat innings, Zach Littell, I guess, is an option. Tyler Anderson is kind of another one of those inning eaters. He's had some success, not coming off a great year. And then the rest, it's like John Gray, uh, Marcus Stroman, which no, thank you. Believe technically Frankie Montas is on the list, but he is going to be out for the year. He had surgery in October, so he's not going to be even pitching. Nestor Cortez is hurt, so he might be back in the season, but he's not going to be back right away. Yeah, the pickings are slim. Alex Cobb is technically on the list.
I mean, you
So
could trade for somebody.
you could, but I mean, are you really going to do that now?
Probably not. They'll wait until like 1 week into spring training when the A's are mathematically eliminated from postseason.
And what are you going to get from them?
Joking. Uh yeah, I think they are what they are. I mean, until the trade deadline.
Well, and one thing to be clear too is the whole Zach Gallen thing. I think the Cubs would have been genuinely interested if the deal would have been right, but the problem is there's the qualifying offer and the draft compensation.
Mm-hmm.
So you wonder if the Cubs' interest was kind of leverage, but he ultimately went back to the Diamondbacks. But either way, I mean, let's say they got him. It wasn't really an act to fulfill a need, it was more of a luxury. So, point being is they shouldn't have to feel like they have to pivot to anything right now. Would it have been nice to have another arm? Yes, because you look at the rotation and you're like, okay, Cade Horton, he had a huge workload last year, more than he's ever gotten in his young career. Is the durability going to be there? You ask about Matt Boyd, who's had a history of injuries. Is his durability going to be there this year? Obviously, you wonder how Shota's going to rebound after the rough last few months last year. You wonder about if, Jameson Taillon, I feel pretty good about, but pitching in the WBC, there's always something weird that happens. I mean, not always, but sometimes there are weird things that happen to pitchers after they pitch in the WBC. And then obviously Justin Steele is going to be coming back from injuries. So, and then Edward Cabrera too. You have injury concerns there. So there's a lot of question marks. I think on paper, if everything is fine with the rotation in terms of health, you have a pretty good rotation. I wouldn't say it's a deadly rotation, but I think you have a pretty good one. But insurance is understandable to want, where you have a lot of questions about durability and health with multiple of your arms. So, yes, I think you could add a luxury piece, but on paper right now, if you moved forward, assuming health, you're still in good shape.
Fingers crossed. Um, but
Yes, fingers crossed, big time. Yes.
there's two players that I guess that I want to talk about. One is Cade Horton. Um, based on where he was last year and how he improved through the year, what do you think he looks like this year? Where does he improve from last year? And what do stats look like for an entire season of Cade Horton?
Yeah, I mean, again, my concern is will he be able to make another jump with the bullets he has in his arm? I mean, listen, if you're going to be an everyday starting pitcher, you're going to have to do it eventually. It's just, I feel like it's more complicated now with the current state of pitching where there's just so much into it and it's so much more stress on an elbow and an arm. But I mean, the stuff is good. The stuff is really, really good. And we saw that confidence grow very quickly last year. Like there were a few starts early on where you're like, it was okay, it wasn't great, it wasn't bad. And then ever since he had the one disastrous start in Houston, after that, he was lights out. Like he adjusted very, very quickly. So I trust this guy has the stuff and the smarts to adjust. It's the physical question. If it's end of year and he has like a 3.6, 3.7 ERA with a lot of strikeouts, I think that's a realistic and solid outcome. Could be better, could be worse. I don't know. But I mean, right now you're hoping a ERA in the low mid threes, nothing higher than a 4, I guess.
What do you think his ceiling is?
Well,
Not just this year, but if career wise, like what do you think is a ceiling for Cade Horton?
if I were to put a comp out there, maybe a Zach Wheeler type. You can kind of picture that, right?
I mean, that's I wouldn't hate that.
No. No, I mean, if he turns out to be a Zach Wheeler, you're pretty damn happy with that.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. The other player I want to talk about is PCA.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen what PCA looks like when he's hitting peak.
Mm-hmm.
We see what he looks like hitting valley. What do we what does he have to do this off season and through spring training to get consistency?
Well, I think one of the things is keeping emotions more in check, right?
Fair.
I think that is something that pretty much everyone around him, including himself, realizes. Like they've publicly said yes. Like this is something to further grow on. And because I think once something is in his head, it can kind of get to him. You know, when the bat slams, things can kind of go south. And I just think getting that in check is going to be a big part of it moving forward. I'm not saying it's going to magically fix every hole he has, but I do think that's part of it.
Uh, What do the Cubs have to do to help him with that? It's like a sports psychologist. Uh, is it, closer mentoring? Um, Getting him a veteran that you attach him at the hip. Um,
Alex Bregman,
is that the guy?
I think so, based on what we're hearing.
I hope so.
Listen, I think the value of Alex Bregman in that clubhouse is going to be huge
I hope so.
because
I
I'm
really
hearing
and truly
nothing
hope
but
so.
good things.
Let's see how this goes through the whole season.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's going to be ups and downs, peaks and valleys. There's going to be dog days. There's going to be rough days. And, you look at last year and remember who the guy was, that leader figure? It was Justin Turner, right? And
Hmm.
it was interesting because, Justin Turner wasn't really producing much on the field. But
Yeah.
I think after a while, there's always the mob to DFA, get rid of him. What does he do? Why is he on a roster? And yeah, I mean, you could tell the guy was old. The guy's bat speed was gone. We know. He was like 39, 40, whatever it was. But as time went on, you heard more and more, and you kind of saw first, second hand what Justin Turner provided to that team in terms of the leadership, the clubhouse presence, being there for young guys like PCA or Matt Shaw or Kate Orton or whoever. It was true value. Like he was a true valuable asset in that clubhouse. And I think by year's end, pretty much everybody realized that. Now I think that when you bring in a guy like Alex Bregman, maybe he's not quite the same personality. He's not going to be wearing a pair of fake nuts in the dugout, but I think he is going to be that figure, that leadership figure that people look to. And this is an opportunity to have a guy who's not only a great leader, but one of your better players. Like you remember David Ross with 2016. Obviously, John Lester was a big part of that, and he was one of your best players. But you had David Ross, you had Justin Turner. Now I think Alex Bregman really helps serve that role. And you listen to PCA, he's referencing what Alex Bregman does, and they ask Alex Bregman about PCA, and I think he brought up emotions, and I think he brought up kind of taking him under his wing and being able to be there for him for advice and, just be there as that, I guess you could say de facto type coach along with all his other coaches. So I think that's gonna be really important.
You're just hearing to say about the fake nuts.
I
Completely different. Do you remember Andy Van Slyke?
remember Scott Van Slyke, his son.
Andy Van Slyke played for the Pirates and the Cardinals, but he mostly during my heyday he was a Pirate, and I hated the Pirates. I really liked him. He was funny, and I remember one time the Cubs and the Pirates were a rain delay, and before they cut to the stupid shows because they wouldn't when they weren't sure if it was going to be a long delay or not, and they were trying to hang around before they started playing reruns of something or other. They were cutting into the Pirates dugout, and he had toothpicks that he put between his lips and his gums, and he was pretending he was a vampire and trying to bite everybody.
Nah.
And I was cracking up. I'm like, man, I love Andy Van Slyke. That's hilarious.
I remember when his son played for the Dodgers when I was a kid.
Andy Van Slyke. He was a good player. He was one of those people. He made an All-Star game. Wasn't a consistent All-Star, but he was a good player. He was a good fielder.
Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't he around a while?
He was around for a while. I just remember the fake vampire in the rain delay.
Yeah, I'll never forget the fake nuts. I don't think they meant to cut to that. Because they cut over to Justin Turner, like who was he cheering on? Seiya or somebody? He was cheering on somebody, and then you close look and you're like, are those nuts? Like, oh, those are okay, interesting, whatever works.
Uh, I, I mean, the Cubs have a history of turning people with their nuts hanging out. Remember when they introduced Clark the Bear?
Oh yeah, and they accidentally took the Photoshop of the wang that was hanging out on him, and it's like, oh, CSN, you didn't see that? And they
Wah,
put it on the
wah, wah,
board.
wah.
Oh boy. Yeah. Yep. Clark the Cub.
Uh,
It's Clark the Cub. Did you say Clark the Bear? I mean,
sorry,
technically he is a bear,
he is a
but
bear. He's a baby bear.
that's
Uh,
Staley the Bear for you. A
God damn
mascot
it.
I feel like nobody cares about. Like,
Uh, I mean, I think people care. I mean, he didn't get a bro hug from Obama or anything. Like
I mean, yeah. Everyone talks about Benny. Like, Benny is one of the best mascots there is.
yeah,
Benny
well,
the
Benny
Bull's a
got
legend.
Benny got dapped up by Obama.
He did. He did at the All-Star game. Because what? You have Benny the Bull. Southpaw is obviously a pretty big deal. Clark the Cub's fairly new. He's more of a punchline than anything.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I mean, even Tommy Hawk, like, I feel like Tommy Hawk is more talked about or more seen than Staley the Bear.
I still find it hilarious that the San Diego Chicken isn't owned by the actual team. It's just a random guy.
Yeah.
That is when I found that out, I was like, that might be my favorite sports story of all time.
Well, it's so random too, because it's like, okay, the Padres, they're like friars. Like, the friars with the monk-like robes and the shaved head in the middle. And then you have the chicken, just the San Diego chicken.
The
Like,
San Diego Chicken.
it's a chicken. And like, hmm, friars, chickens. Friars, chickens. Where, where's the connection?
I mean, Philly they have two classics.
Oh, the fanatic, yeah.
The Fanatic and somebody who went from the lowest of the low, the dregs, them being made fun of, to one of the best, Gritty.
Gritty
Gritty
creeps
is
me out.
amazing. I mean, when they announced Gritty, man, Philadelphia fans were losing their minds until anybody outside of Philly, they started making fun of Gritty too. And they circled the wagons and they were like, fuck you. Gritty's our boy. Fuck you. In true Philadelphia fashion. And they
Kind
were
of
like,
funny.
we circled the wagons and they single-handedly made Gritty the mascot that he is today.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's true.
And then Gritty got adopted by like like the anti-fascist movement and like they were like the Gritty is a anti-fascist. He look at that look on his face. And
It's a smiling orange guy. Like,
uh, you're like,
uh,
I saw the meme. You know who's not in the Epstein files? Gritty.
true.
Uh Winnie the Pooh is though.
What?
There's a picture of Winnie the Pooh with Epstein in the files.
Oh, bother. I'm about to get canceled. Oy. Well, as far as I know, Benny the Bull is also not in the Epstein files.
I don't believe he is.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. Wasn't there like an unofficial Cubs mascot, like Billy Cub? Does that ring a bell to you?
I don't remember a Billy the Cub.
It was just Billy Cub. It wasn't Billy the Cub. It was just Billy Cub. Like, Billy Club, Billy
Oh,
Cub. Like, I don't think it was the team or anything. Like, it was just somebody dressed up as Billy Cub beforehand. He would just kind of walk around outside
hmm.
Wrigley Field.
I don't remember that. I just think there should be more unauthorized mascots just randomly going by. I'm pro unauthorized mascots.
Bears Greedo.
Uh,
Could you imagine? Well, no, you can't imagine because you'd be the one starting Bears Greedo.
uh, yeah,
Just
here we go. I'm Googling unauthorized sports mascots. Billy Cub. For 7 years, John Paul Weir acted as unofficial mascot near Wrigley Field, leading to a lawsuit from the Cubs regarding trademark violation and unauthorized representation.
I'm gonna assume that lawsuit came out during the Tribune days, right?
It doesn't have a year. There's Nittany Lush. In 2008, the student playing the Nittany Lion was arrested for DUI hours before a game.
Was he in the costume?
I don't know. There's Pat Patriot. In 2009, a man wearing the mascot costume was arrested in a prostitution sting. Um, 19. So these are the actual mascot. They just got arrested for stuff. In 1996, the mascot Bucky the Badger was arrested for crowd surfing during a game.
Remember recently
Uh,
when Chuck E. Cheese got arrested?
yes, that was they went and they got him. They couldn't wait for him to get out of the suit. They went and got him.
You just see his giant mouse hands getting handcuffed. Oh, speaking of unofficial mascots, back to Chicago, I'm sure you remember Andy the Clown at the Sox games, right?
Yes.
Because it wasn't, I don't know the full story of Andy the Clown, but the one guy was doing it for the longest time, right? He was just doing it at Comiskey Park, and he kind of became that unofficial mascot. No matter how good or bad the team was, he was always there. He had the light red nose, like that would
Y-
blink.
Yes, and the stupid derby hat, the red derby hat.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It,
Let's go, White Sox. Isn't that what he would say? Go, you White Sox. Something like that.
he did it from 1960 to 1990,
Wow, that's a long time.
according to Wikipedia. Andrew Razdilski Jr., who died in 1995, was an American clown. As Andy the Clown, he was well known for performing at White Sox games at the original Comiskey Park from 1960 to 1990.
Was an American clown. That's what.
He was doing that in his 70s.
Good for him. They had Andy the Clown, and then on the north side we had Ronnie Woo Woo.
They should fight. They should have fought. That would have been
Well, I was
amazing.
gonna say Andy is no longer with
Yeah,
us.
well, I mean, Ronnie's barely with us.
Yeah, he's got to be what in his he's in his 80s. He's got to be, right?
Uh,
Ronnie Woo
Ronnie,
Woo, he's got to be in his 80s.
he's old.
Because I
Uh,
know people on Twitter who post like updates. I know he's in a facility and he's,
he is
getting care, but
he's
I know he's
84.
old.
He is
84, yeah, he's up there. I know he's, been battling health issues and people have been, which is great. I like that the community is helping the guy out, but I just know he's up there in age. He's been doing that a long time, though he hasn't wooed in a very long time.
Well, I told you the story of my friend was at a wedding and Ronnie Woo Woo was there, and it was in like Naperville, and he drove Ronnie Woo Woo from Naperville back to Chicago
Hey, good for
after the
him.
wedding. And he calls me, he's like, "Guess who I got in my car?" I'm like, "I have no idea." He's like, and then you just hear Cubs, woo! And then he's driving, and he's got like a picture that he's sending me from the car with him and Ronnie Woo Woo and his brother, my friend's brother, not Ronnie Woo Woo's brother. And they're all in the car, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
That's awesome. How long ago was that?
It's been a minute. It was
Because
pre-pandemic.
he was, he had to be still wooing, right? Or
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know if he was
not,
still
but
at the games wooing, but he wooed in the on the phone.
gotcha. Yeah.
So
I mean,
it must have been 2008,
okay.
2009.
You know, it's almost 20 years ago now, right?
I know. It's been a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I remember him wooing a few times when I was a kid in like the early 2000s, and I know he's been to games more recently. Like he was at all the playoff games during the World Series run and everything. But he wasn't wooing at the time. So I don't know exactly when he really stopped doing it. Probably because his voice was gone after a
Oh
while.
yeah. Ronnie Woo Woo.
Yeah. Man, Ronnie Woo, man, he was doing that when my dad was a kid. It's just crazy to think about.
Uh, yeah, let's see. He's at a nursing facility in Evanston.
Hmm. Yeah, I know people online post updates.
Yeah. Diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis.
Ugh.
Oh, Ronnie Woo Woo.
Yeah, it's bummer. But, hopefully he's getting good care over there.
Let's talk White Sox.
Hmm.
Not a lot there. They made I think, very smart move in bringing Eric Fetty back.
Yeah, I mean, he did well there, obviously, a few years ago when they traded him. And hey, you need to sign guys, bring in arms, and that's a veteran right there that's pitched well for you. I think that's a solid move. At least it gives you another starter.
Yeah, it's a starter who can eat up innings. You're paying him $1.5 million a year. Um,
Which is pretty nice for a starting pitcher. Good
yeah.
deal.
And that's a guy, he's on a 1 year deal and he's making no money. So
Hmm.
essentially, if he pitches well, they are going to flip him at the deadline.
Yep.
And I mean, that's the right thing to do, honestly. 'Cause at
Yeah.
that point, you know what he is. And if he's, a valuable piece and you're probably not in contention, then flip him because he's not going to be with you
Hmm.
next year. And if
Right.
and it's not stopping you from bringing him back next year either.
And if he's bad, he's bad. So what? You're not really paying him anything.
Yeah. If he's bad, okay, who cares? Um, and then there's the funny story. I know a lot of people are making more out of it than need to be. The whole Luis Angel Acuna being switch hitter thing.
Yeah, it's not a great look.
It isn't a great look. I'll give you that, but I'm just not gonna make that big of a deal out of it.
I mean, we're probably going to forget about it soon enough. And, again, we look at the Luis Robert deal, and the way I look at it is anything you get out of the players you got back is more than not, honestly, a bonus. Because really, the goal there was to clear that salary away so you can make other. Well, it's really stupid that we have to say that they had a already low payroll and they're like, oh, well, we got to clear more money to make moves. Like, stop being fucking cheap. But regardless, you moved him with the intention of using that money to spend in other areas. And you did. You brought in Sir Anthony Dominguez, you brought in Austin Hayes, you brought in Eric Fetty, like you just mentioned. So you've used that money in other areas. That was really the main thing. So Louis Sangel, Acuna, and that other pitcher they got, if there's something, there's something. If they're not, they're not. It was a salary dump at the end of the day.
You said Austin Hayes, which reminded me of Willie Mays Hayes, which reminded me I watched Major League Two.
You did.
You didn't tell me that there was a different Willie Mays Hayes.
Yeah, it was Omar Epps
They
because wasn't
replaced they replaced him and just kept it like he was the same guy.
did they replace him or was that when he got into that legal trouble?
Is it
With
when he
like the
wasn't paying taxes?
Yeah, was that when Wesley Snipes got in legal trouble? I
Oh
honestly
no.
don't remember when that was.
I was not a big fan of Major League Two. I gave it a shot. I didn't love it. I think I was thrown with Willie Mays Hayes and I just never got back to it.
I don't know. I love the villain in that movie, Jack Parkman. I think he's great.
Uh Jack Parkman.
I thought he was the perfect baseball villain. I'm not saying the movie overall is as good or better than the first one, but
I need
I
to see the
still.
third one now though.
No, you don't.
I do. I do.
No, you don't.
Is the third Major League better or worse than Caddyshack 2?
Oh, I don't think you could get much worse than Caddyshack 2.
Caddyshack 2 was terrible.
That shouldn't exist. I mean, first of all, I actually do like Jackie Mason, but the fact that they had Jackie Mason more or less just imitating Rodney Dangerfield was really stupid. They're not even the same character, but he's like, "Oh, well, look at me. I am now what Rodney Dangerfield is supposed to be, but I'm a different character." I'm like, "Listen, Jackie Mason, there are times you make me laugh my ass off, but this was not one of them."
Oh, Caddyshack 2.
I mean, the only returning character was Chevy Chase in like I kind of a cameo role. He was in a few scenes, but he wasn't like a major role in the movie. And like you can tell he didn't really give a shit with that performance. He was just kind of there to collect a paycheck. And then of course, oh my God, replacing Bill Murray with just freaking Dan Aykroyd acting like a complete doofus. It's like, dude.
Well, the Paul Bartel was in that, and he was also in a movie I just watched over the weekend with my kid, Gremlins 2.
You would watch that movie.
My daughter chose it. She really likes the horror comedies. So she had a friend over, and so here's the thing: when you have a kid, there's no like definitive line of what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. You sort of got to know your kid. And my kid, like, we don't let her watch a lot of TV, period, but especially like horror things because she gets nightmares. And some of her friends, including her best friend, are like they watch whatever. Like their parents just don't care. So her friend spent the night and they were like, let's watch horror movies. Let's watch horror movies. And then my kid, trying to be a goof, is like, we should be able to watch Terrifier. And I was like, absolutely not. So I'm like, all right, how do I win this? And my wife is like, maybe let him watch, It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. And I'm like, no, no. Like nothing wrong
Yeah.
with Charlie Brown, but like that's not a
Oh yeah, it's great,
that's
but like
when
that's
you're
nothing.
talking about like, oh, they want to watch a horror movie. No. So I was like, I've got it. I was like, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It was a hit. It was a hit. I was like, all right, all right. This is like, my daughter was like, can I watch anything else like that? And I was like, yes, Gremlins. She watched Gremlins. She loved it. So she's been begging to watch Gremlins too. So we watched it last night or yesterday. We watched it and it was a hit. She thought it was hilarious that they had the the female prostitute gremlin. Um and Hulk Hogan is in it threatening the gremlins. Like it's such a good movie. It, like she loved that movie. So now I've got to go find some more in that vein. Might do
Killer
Shaun of the Dead.
Clowns from Outer Space.
It's such a good movie.
It's such a good movie.
It is a good movie. When was the last time you watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
I might have to now. I mean, I know the movie, but let's see. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. There's a
It
game?
it is so over the top. I love it.
Actually, wow. 6.2 out of 10 from IMDb? That's not bad.
It's a good movie. It is a cult classic.
That's literally how it's described here. Killer Clowns from Outer Space in 1988 is a cult classic sci-fi horror comedy film about murderous clown-like aliens who invade a small town to harvest humans for food, trapping them in cotton candy cocoons.
It's so good.
It's I just picture you being in like some big lecture hall about studying the art of film. They bring up Citizen Kane and Casablanca and Gone with the Wind and Ben-Hur and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yes, let's compare the cinematic themes of Killer Clowns from Outer Space to Casablanca. Totally similar movies, right?
I mean, the themes are there. The themes are there. I mean, I would say, Killer Clowns and the Grapes of Wrath.
Okay, sure. Yeah. What's next? Are you going to compare Goonies 2 to Lawrence of Arabia?
Maybe, maybe, maybe Ben-Hur.
Is there a chariot race scene in Goonies 2?
Well, there's when uh what's his name? Thanos is on the bicycle and they grab the handle and then they're pulling him. So yeah.
Well, I suppose. I suppose. Is there a dramatic death of Masala like in Ben-Hur and Goonies 2?
I mean, One Eye Willie's dead.
Does a suffering Jewish prince who is falsely accused of harming a Roman soldier, does he have a mother and sister who become lepers in Goonies 2?
Well, that would be Sloth.
You have an answer for everything I say. Is it like a 4 hour long movie with intermission?
All right, there you got me. There you got me.
Oh my goodness. That is hilarious. Actually, you want to know a really just obscene, obnoxiously disgusting like 80s movie that I saw? Have you ever watched Garbage Pail Kids?
Oh my God, I have that movie on VHS.
It's grotesque.
It is. I saw that in the theater.
Of course you did. Were you the only one in the theater?
No, this was back in the 80s when everything was sold out. Like there was a packed theater.
Yeah, you're good point.
That was like when there was no most people didn't have cable. And uh and so people went to the theater and you had
Back
to
in
go
your day.
and you couldn't buy tickets in advance. So you just had to show up early to get your seats and get your tickets. 1987. I was 10 years old. Garbage Pail Kids.
I was in the negatives then. Was not around. But yeah, I saw the Nostalgia Critic do a review on that. I'm like, this is grotesque. Isn't there like a
Uh,
puking one? Like a puking kid or whatever?
yes, Garbage Pail Kids, man. I might have to play that for my kid.
Isn't a spaceship just a giant garbage can?
Pail Kids.
Because those were a toy originally,
It
right?
it was cards, like trading cards.
Oh, trading cards. Okay.
Yeah.
Trading
They when
cards.
I was a kid, those were like the thing.
Yeah.
Like, and teachers hated them because they were like, they're gross. Don't so we were told not to bring them to school, but everybody brought them to school to trade your Garbage Pail Kids because you'd buy packs like baseball cards and you'd trade. And you
Right.
people would always try to find like because there would be one image and it would have there would be two different versions of it. So, um, like they would just have a different name, but it would be the same drawing. So everyone had two different names, um, and you always tried to find your name. So I remember mine was Stone Sean, and it was like a one that was a stone statue.
That's not so
Um,
bad.
yeah, I think it was, but he has like a joint, so he's supposed to be like marijuana stoned.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Oh, I thought you meant like literally like just a stone. Or he was
uh,
a stone, but he was also stoned. Is that what you're saying?
yes,
Okay, I got it. I
yes.
got you. Okay.
Um,
Still, that's not bad.
yeah. So there was like um a girl who's like looks like a Cabbage Patch doll, and her whole face is swollen. So there was bloated Blair and swollen Sue Ellen.
Swollen Sue Ellen.
Then there was the one that was the Grim Reaper, and it was Grim Jim and Death Beth.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't get over swollen Sue Ellen.
And then there's the very first one, uh, was Atom Bomb.
Oh,
Uh,
I get it. Atom bomb. I get it.
yeah. Then there was the girl with the like the pimples and the braces, and she was Acne Amy and Ghastly Ashley.
I remember the Acne Amy one. Oh, there was also a cartoon. But that was the cartoon as grotesque?
I don't remember the cartoon.
Because I'm looking like at a photo of the cartoon. It looks a lot more like Care Bears cartoony, if you can like get that vibe.
There was the one with the girl with the armpit hair, and she was Armpit Brit and Shaggy Aggie.
Who made this shit? Like who came up with this?
I think it was supposed to be like a play on uh, Cabbage Patch Dolls.
Well, clearly because the facial structure is the same.
Yeah. Then there was one where he was supposed to be like a jazz musician, but his face, like straight out of Beetlejuice, his face was all stretched out into his mouth was made into like a flute, and the tongue hanging out of the front of it. He was Rudy Toot and Horny Hal.
Horny Hal.
Horny
Horny
Hal.
Hal. You had a kids trading card character named Horny Hal. See,
Yes.
when I was a kid, the big thing was Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards were not grotesque. They had really cool ass creatures on them that did different powers and shit. You, on the other hand, grew up with frickin' Sue Ellen.
There was another one where as a kid, like that machine that you put old cars in and it smushes it into a cube.
Yeah.
So they have a child in that and she's squished into a cube, and the two versions are Ruby Cube and Trish Squish.
Okay, that's kind of funny. See, when I think of that, have you ever seen The Brave Little Toaster?
I have not.
Okay, first of all, that is an amazing animated movie. It's like Toy Story before Toy Story. Like, this is a legit recommendation. Watch Brave Little Toaster. Have you heard of Brave Little Toaster?
I have not.
Oh my God. You have not heard of Brave Little Toaster?
No.
No, I am telling you right now, watch this movie.
It's gonna make me cry.
It actually might.
Oh no, I can't do that.
No, seriously, watch Brave Little Toaster. It is one of the best animated films ever, in my opinion. And it came out in the 80s.
Huh. I'll have to check
So it
that
was
out.
originally a book. by Thomas Dish, and then it became a movie, and then he wrote a sequel, and then they made two sequels in like the 90s, like animated direct to video. But no, watch Brave Little Toaster because, like, Toy Story, right?
Yes.
Toys come alive. These are appliances come to life.
Hmm.
Main character is a toaster. There is a Hoover vacuum. There is a lamp. There is a radio. There is an electric blanket. And they live in this cottage that their quote master, who is this little boy who would always play with them as a kid, it was just a cottage that they owned. It wasn't their house, so they weren't around a lot. He grows up, they're gone. They feel abandoned, so they set out to find him. And in the climax, they end up in this junkyard. You need to watch this movie. Like I am telling you straight up, watch this movie. I will text you after the show reminding you, watch Brave Little Toaster. It's on YouTube.
I will have to check that out.
Yes. I will remind you until you do.
Let's see. I'm gonna see where it is streaming. Brave Little. John Lovitz is one of the voices.
Yeah, it's John Lovitz, Thurl Ravenscroft, the guy Tony the Tiger. He's the vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
Oh, are there any other big names? Yeah, the radio is John Lovitz. Trying to think if
Oh,
there are any
Tim
other.
Stack is in it.
Yeah, Tim Stack. He's the lamp.
Um, Phil Hartman.
He's the air conditioner who has a heart attack and explodes.
Uh, it is
Yeah, Phil
not.
Hartman does kind of he does a Jack Nicholson type character with the air conditioner.
It doesn't seem to be streaming anywhere.
It's on YouTube. The whole
Oh,
movie's on YouTube. You can just watch it on YouTube.
I'll have to watch it on the YouTube. Now, Garbage Pail Kids is on Tubi.
Thanks for letting me know. I think the sequels for Brave Little Toaster are streaming. But I mean, the first one is far and away the best.
How many are there?
Three. Two of them are based on books. The first one and Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars are based on books. Then there's Brave Little Toaster The Rescue is the one that was not based on a book.
Yeah, Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars is on Disney Plus.
Yes, yes.
And Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue is also on Disney Plus.
Correct.
Hmm.
Anyway, we were talking about the White Sox.
Yeah. Now, will the White Sox make another move?
I was wondering if they were going to pick up another one of those lingering starting pitchers like a Chris Bassett, or they were going to be in on Zach Gallen. They didn't do that. Chris Bassett signed. Uh, Obviously, Zach Gallen signed. I don't think they're going to do a Lucas Giolito reunion. Yeah, maybe
No.
they pick up another starter. I don't know, but I feel like Eric Fetty was kind of that move that they were talking about in terms of getting another starter.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if they do another trade somewhere. I don't know.
I don't know if you
Feel like
saw
their
this.
I feel like their roster's not complete.
It's not. I don't know where, because Mike Tobin just signed with the Mets today. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I was about to, when I was putting together some notes the other day, I was like, oh, I wonder if Mike Talkman reunion is in the works, but he signed a minor league deal with the Mets,
Right, yeah. So that's out of the question.
unless they trade for him.
Well, I mean, sure.
Sorry, you were going to say something?
No, I was just saying that before I was saying he just signed with the Mets today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's old.
I mean,
Uh,
he hit very well at the White Sox last year. I just wonder if he didn't get a major league deal or held out this long because there's concern about his legs.
I don't know. Don't
That's
know.
my guess. I mean, because he was good for the Sox last year for
Yeah, I mean
what he
that's why I was
was.
shocked that they didn't bring him back.
I think it's the legs.
I mean, they would know if something was up.
Right.
Uh, the other Reinsdorf owned team, we got the Bulls, who made the
Yeah, I
series of
guess.
disastrous trades and have not won a game since.
Well, I don't know how many you're gonna win at this point.
And I saw a video and it just went through all of the players that they traded. DeMar DeRozan, who is like number 6 of active players in all-time scoring and top 30 all time. You get rid of Zach LaVine, Vucevic, uh, you get rid of um, Ball, and all of the players they got rid of. Not a single first round pick was obtained.
Nope.
Not a one.
Nope. Not one.
Like that is criminal.
Yeah,
How do you
well,
do that?
yeah, that's how they roll. They got a million second rounders, that's
Well, one
yay.
less, 1 million, one less than 1
Yeah.
million. Um, can't even do that. Can't even get second round picks right.
What a what a joke. What
And
a joke.
and like, and it's the crazy part is all right. So they're tanking, but they're too late to really be in on the tank.
Right. They've already won too many games.
Like right now. So what do you? How far into the season here? You're like probably 2/3 done of the season ish,
Yeah, yeah, give or take. There's
and
so many teams worse than you.
you are 10. You are 10, and so you've got what? How many games here? So you're looking at 20 or 55. Um, you've got 27 games left, and there are teams that have half as many wins as you. Like you're not gonna get to the bottom here of the
No,
standings.
no.
Like realistically, Milwaukee will leapfrog you soon enough.
Of course.
Um, maybe Memphis.
Here's the thing though. Adam Silver wants to get rid of tanking. Like you've heard about the issues that the league is having with the Pacers.
Yes.
Imagine you're the Pacers. You just went from being a half away from winning the NBA finals last year to being ostracized by the freaking league for tanking. That's just wild to me.
I just don't know what you do to stop it. Like I know they said everything's on the table, but like what do you do?
Uh
I mean, it's a lot
I don't
easier.
know.
I mean, I don't think players tank, but
No,
the organizations do. And NFL, it's hard to tank. Like that's why you're probably not going to see a draft lottery. The only reason that you'll see a draft lottery in the NFL is for ratings because they'll make it into a TV show. Um, but other than that, like it's hard to tank in the NFL because there's so many players and they're all competing hard, and there's a lot of parity. NBA, you have 5 starters on the field or on the court at one time, and the level of talent drops extremely quickly.
right.
Uh, so it's easy to tank in the NBA, even if the players aren't trying.
Oh
Just
yeah, I mean it's
look at the
easy to put
Bulls.
together a roster that just sucks.
Yeah, let's put together a roster of only guards. Cool. All right, tank away.
Guards that can't shoot.
Fair enough. So yeah, I mean, like realistically looking, Yeah, Milwaukee will leapfrog you, maybe Memphis, but uh, I mean, realistically, you're probably gonna be sixth, seventh, eighth, somewhere around there.
Yeah, where they are very often.
So then, at that point, let's just say seven, just for shits and gigs. Um, then their odds of getting the number one overall pick go from 3% to 7.5%.
Whoopee.
Whoop-de-doo. And it's it's just it's so dumb.
Haven't watched a minute post deadline, so
But just what's to what? I don't know who these players are. It's sad.
Yep, not even worth caring about.
Um, let's wrap this up with little bears. So interesting news is the Dolphins went on their cost saving spree, their fire sale. Um, Tyreek Hill has been cut or waived.
Don't
Bradley
know if he'll
Chubb.
play again.
Do we know that?
I doubt it.
Um, Bradley Chubb was released.
Think he's still any good going
I
forward?
don't know. That's the curiosity because he was so good. I wonder, I wonder what that would look like. And you could use, if you're the Bears, just spend money and then use your draft capital to get better on the interior.
Yeah, I mean maybe. I wonder what the price is going to be, and I just wonder if at this point that juice is worth the squeeze.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I have not watched enough Dolphins to know. Um, I would at least kick the tires there because and the realism is you're probably not going to get Max Crosby.
It's funny. ESPN is doing like these mock trades, and you look at them and you're like, I think it's going to cost a lot more than that. So I'm not really counting on it. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm not counting on it.
I mean, here's what happens is if the Raiders work this right, they'll get a lot. But
Right.
they can't let this fester because he's clearly doesn't want to be there. And if the league doesn't come to you with great proposals and you're like, I don't love those deals, let me wait. If this makes it to training camp, it's just going to get worse and worse on your return because he's just going to sit out, he's going to throw a fit and he's not going to play for you and you want to move on from him. It's just going to be, is somebody going to get desperate and overpay and overplay their hand? Um, or are they all going to be smart and kind of sit back and wait for the Raiders to get a little desperate? And there's always going to be somebody, there's already always a GM that's dumber. Always.
Yeah, that is an interesting question. I'm curious to see how that is going to play out. Because I mean, one thing to keep in mind is they do have a new head coach now. So does his presence make any sort of difference on how Max Crosby feels? I don't know because it's still the same ownership, but with some of the new management in place, does that make some sort of difference? Do they work something out? It seemed like he was really ready to be out of there. Really, really did. But I'm curious to see how that plays out.
Yep. Um, but yeah, I mean, the crazy part is when your team is good and you make it to the playoffs and uh and it's not a stink fest. It's that when your team is like in the postseason and wins a game, the off season comes at you real quick
Yes, it does. Yeah,
because
it's an unusual feeling. Yes.
yeah, we're so used to by the middle of the season going, oh my God, when's the draft? And you're already looking forward, and then it's months and months. Now it's the combine. The combine is what, next week?
Mm-hmm.
The combine starts next week. Um, the legal tampering period is in like little
Three
over three
weeks.
weeks.
Yep.
Um, the new league year starts a couple days after that. And the draft is early this year. It's on April 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like a little over 2 months from the draft.
Yeah, it comes on you quick.
Uh, but so yeah, I mean we're gonna be on us quick. Um, but I saw there's a Bears like a quote insider writer or whatever that I can't stand normally, but he said something that had some sense to it. Ben Devine. Uh, so Taylor Decker is probably going to be a cap casualty with the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
He's played with them for a long time. Their
Mm-hmm.
left tackle. And he made a comment that he wants to play another year. What if he got a reunion with Ben Johnson
I think I
on
saw him mention that too.
and you get your one last year, get to play with Ben Johnson, and for the Bears, you get a veteran that your head coach has worked with for several years, and it gives you the freedom to have a player that's trying to play one more year, and you don't have to worry about contract situations beyond that. And then you get Ozzy Trapillo back. And best case scenario is if Ozzy Trapillo comes back, the second half of the season and Taylor Decker is either not playing well or, gets hurt, like you can just step right back in and give him Ozzy Trapillo back the playing time.
It's an intriguing idea for sure.
It's one that I really find interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would be interested in that. Uh, I mean, he's gonna get cut. It's like an $18 million cap savings.
Yeah, they just can't afford him.
Yeah, he's gonna be gone. I don't know to what degree he wanted to play another year, or if it was one of those things is like, I just want to make another year of money before I'm done. Uh,
Right.
or if he still has that dog in him,
Dog.
let me go out on top. I think the Bears, it's not like it's that far from, you don't have to move your family. It's a couple hour drive away or a really short flight. Um, so you could keep your kids in school and your family in their house. You made enough money in your career to get an apartment or whatever, and just, commute back and forth, or have your family come and visit you. Like it just, I think it could work. And the familiarity with a Ben Johnson system would would be an easy transition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. It is an intriguing idea.
And it saves you, a roster, I mean starting position that you don't have a fill for because it sounds like Ozzy Trapillo is going to miss a big chunk of next season.
Yeah, that really sucks.
It really sucks. I mean, this whole off season would look a lot better if he was healthy or that
Yes.
injury was, like a high ankle sprain or something where you're like, okay, that would suck during the season, but missing 2 months in the off season, I can live with that.
Right.
Uh, or like a dislocated knee, like just something that less bad, knee sprain. Um, but just yeah, the bad knee injury, that really stinks. And now you've got to solve a position that you were going into. You're actually in a worse spot than you were last year.
Yeah.
Last year you had your incumbent starter and then a draft, a couple of draft picks and a guy who was on your practice squad that were all competing for that spot. Now your incumbent starter's gone. You're from the previous season. So Braxton Jones is going to be gone. Uh, and the guy that was on your practice squad, he's a free agent. And one of the draft picks is hurt, and the other draft pick just stinks. So
Hmm.
you're starting from square one rather than from a spot of, hey, at least you had options.
Yeah, I mean, I think you might have to get creative here.
Gonna have to. Gonna have to. Because even if you bring back the Canadian Eagle,
I think he's a depth piece at this point. I
yeah,
really do.
I think he's a right side guy anyway. So I just and I don't think Amagagi is the guy.
No, I don't either.
I really don't think so. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out in about 2 months.
Yep.
But do you remember? Maybe this was before your time. In in like the 70s and 80s, and even in the 90s, daytime television was dominated by soap operas. One Life to Live, General Hospital, and we have our own soap opera going on in Chicago, and it's where will the Bears' next stadium be?
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's talk saying that they're progressing with Illinois. I still think if they went to Indiana, that would be a horrible look for Illinois, losing the Bears like that. I don't think Illinois can really afford to lose the Bears. I mean, they can, but it would just be a really awful look.
Yeah, I mean, it would be bad, but I mean, so here's the thing: you have the city of Chicago that's still trying to pitch the Bears
Hmm.
with the lakefront.
That's not happening. That's not happening.
I mean, I don't think it's happening, but stranger things have happened. Uh, and I know the Bears have loved the history, and I think if they can't get something done in Arlington Heights, staying in Chicago on the lakefront probably has some sort of nostalgic appeal.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I mean, what are going to be the stipulations? Are you not going to be able to own your own stadium? Where are you going to build it? How are you going to build it? I mean, are you going to be able to upgrade where you want to upgrade everything with the logistics and the layout and everything?
well, I mean but that's where it comes into play. So Indiana is basically telling you they'll build you a stadium, but you're not going to own that either.
No. You'll just get
And
real good deal with money and
it'll
I
be it'll be the deal basically that the White Sox have with guaranteed rate.
hmm
Like you don't own it, but you're also not paying really anything on it. Um,
no.
and the thing is all of those things they were trying to do as far as building this to be a destination, you're not doing that in Indiana. Is people will go to the games and then they will immediately turn around and go back to where they live. You're not having those people come early and go to restaurants or bars and no destination spots. It's and you don't own it. So then there's Arlington that's still in play, but they need tax relief from the city.
And I
And they
still think that's where it's going to be.
but then you have a new contender. This one was a curveball, I was not expecting. The state of Iowa has
Zero chance.
had their hat thrown their hat in the ring to try to woo the Bears to go to Iowa.
Good
And I
luck.
was like,
Zero chance.
That's what I'm like, what are they thinking? That's kind of embarrassing. Like You're not getting the Bears.
No.
Do you know how far away that is?
Yeah, I mean, Northern Indiana at least makes sense, but
Like that would not be just a stadium deal. That's enticing the team to leave. They wouldn't be the Chicago
Chicagoland.
Bears anymore.
Right.
They would be the Davenport Bears or the Iowa City Bears. And the Bears aren't going to do that. Like you lose that TV revenue. I mean, all that history out, like you are no longer the Chicago Bears. They're still the Chicago Bears if they play in Gary or Hammond. We're going to make fun of them.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it's still not my ideal, but I would rather be there than Iowa. But I mean, there's no world where that's going to happen.
yeah, I thought that one was a wild one. The Iowa Bears.
Ugh.
Like so dumb. Like who thought of that?
They're like, hey, why not? What's the worst they could say? No?
We can laugh at you.
Yeah. Yeah. We are. And then we're going to forget about it pretty quickly because it's so absurd.
And it wasn't even like one dude. It was 7 Iowa state legislators who wanted to spend public money to build the Bears a home, including their
Yep.
senator.
Hey, if we get enough, maybe they'll do it, you know? Yeah, totally.
Uh, yeah, they like the Davenport Bears. Like the Quad Cities is like not even 500,000 people. Like you're
No.
not putting an NFL stadium there. And even if they did, just in some crazy twist they did, they're not going to get the Super Bowl.
God, no. Maybe a bunch of people lost a bet or something. So like, yeah.
It's when they lose their fantasy league. That was their punishment.
Yeah, right. They all lost their fantasy league. Well, we got to bid for the Bears now.
God, we gotta go public with the Bears bid. Oh, jeez. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Nope, I've said my piece.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Bill Swerski Sports Talk.
Words.
Aha. That's aha spelled backwards. That's going to do it for this episode of Bill Swerski Sports Talk Chicago. I want to thank everybody so much for listening. Please hit subscribe however you listen to podcasts, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play, Spotify, etc. Share this podcast with your friends. That's how we grow the show. Follow us on social media at Swerski Sports, Facebook.com/Swerski Sports, SwerskiSports.com, or Swerski_Sports_podcast on Instagram, ShyFanPat2 for Alex on Twitter /X, or AlexanderJPatCreative.com for all the cool stuff that Alex does. And again, thank you so much for listening. Until next time, bear down.
Cubs win! What a lucky break! The good Lord wants the Cubs to win!
We thank Ditka and God for all they have provided.
Cubs win! Cubs win! Cubs win!
Oh, I don't want her. You can have her. She's a Packer fan. She can't fit in my van.
And she looks like Remember, New Yorkers, smoking crack is not legal on planes. Bears 31 to -7. The Bears!
Oh, when the Bears go bearing